And we're back. I shut my truck off to do this video and I forgot to turn my EPU on. It was getting a little stuffy in here. So, anyway, I lost focus on the channel back in November, and I've been just throwing stuff out there at will to see what happens. And what I have found out is I really like doing YouTube. I like doing it. But what I think YouTube wants is like a cookie cutter channel. That's what I think. I think, and I'm going to pick on somebody here just for a second. Not that I like them or dislike them. I'm actually neutral on him. But Mother Trucker. Every trucking channel, every person that is in trucking probably knows about Mother Trucker. He's got, 500, 600, 700,000 subscribers. He's up there. Like him or lump him, he's there. And what I have noticed about Mother Trucker, every once in a great while, he will do something different. But 90 to 95% of his videos, 90 to 95% of his thumbnails is like a cookie cutter. It's just bam, bam, bam. It's the same thing over and over and over. And his subscribers seem to like it. YouTube seems to like it. The algorithm seems to like it. Advertisers seem to like it. I want to tell you one thing about why I got into trucking, because I was working at a factory right before I got into trucking, and I have always compared working in a factory to taking a board and putting a screw in it. Just about every factory job is the same thing. You go in and you make the same product and you do the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's like, that was my GoPro shutting off. That is what working in a factory to me is like. You take a board and you put a screw in it, put it down. Pick up another board, put a screw in it, put it down. I don't like factory work. I don't like the same old every single minute of every single day. Now, with a YouTube channel, you can get too far stretched out. You can start talking about all kinds of stuff that it isn't pertinent to anything whatsoever. You're just talking, kind of like what I'm doing with this video. But no, I'm explaining what happens, and this happens to a lot of YouTubers, and I think it will help a lot of YouTubers out. And that's an underlying thing that I've had with this channel. It is trucking and politics, but it's also helping truckers out just in general, helping new truckers out, clarifying some stuff about trucking. And also it's about helping YouTube truckers. And I think we all go through it where, as a YouTube trucker, a trucking YouTuber, maybe I should say it that way. We all go through this where we get to a point and we either get writer's block or we get stuck, or I was watching the Mexican convoy go through the parking lot. Is that not cool? But anyway, helping YouTube truckers out. We all go through that. We get to a point where we either get lost with the channel, we get writer's block, we don't know what to talk about or what subject matter. And what I think a lot of truck drivers do is they get in this the day in the life of a truck driver thing, like a vlog. And it, not that there's anything wrong with that. If you like doing it and people watch your channel, go for it. But I think that goes back to me, working in a factory where you're just getting up and doing the same thing. You know, you're just making that same video over and over and over. And you're talking about the same thing over and over and over. And hey, if it works, it works, you know. Let it work for you. It's just, I don't want to do that. And whenever I lost my focus, I guess when Trump became president, I didn't really have anything else to gripe about. Is Trump doing an outstanding job? Not really. Not this term. He's not really doing an outstanding job. He has done basically zero to do anything whatsoever for trucking. I was really hoping that he would go in just, you know, like a firestorm and get rid of these illegals and immigrants out of trucking. But, you know, so far they're still here. I don't see any real major change with the illegals and immigrants in trucking, and he needs to do something about that. For sure, they need to do something about that. Arkansas is trying, and I heard that it might go federal. And I'm just thinking, it might go federal. It should already be federal. You know, why are you letting illegals drive trucks in the United States? But anyway, this is more about, you know, the channel itself. And another thing I want to throw in is my personal focus. Okay, my personal focus has changed. And I was thinking about this same time, about November of last year, what I wanted to do with this trucking job, this specific trucking job, what I wanted to do. You know, it's like when you're 18 years old and or 17, 18 years old, you're about to graduate high school. Well, what are you going to do with your life? Well, I had one of those moments where I said, well, you know, I was thinking company driving was going to be a pause in me becoming an owner-operator again. And it kept lingering and lingering, and some other stuff started happening, and now I don't know if I'll ever be an owner-operator again. And that's not depressing, you know, that's not sadness. It's just reality. And, you know, like I said in my last video that I put out last night, if it happens, it happens. And if it does, then, you know, it'll be on certain terms. But I'm okay with company driving, you know, especially this company. I really like this company. Sometimes they work too hard. Sometimes they don't work hard enough. But I don't know what that guy's doing over there. Another one of those immigrant truck drivers, and he has been in and out walking around his truck. He's went in the store like 3 times. He just parked his truck right before I started this video, and now he's getting in his truck, backing up and pulling forward. I don't know what that guy's doing. I don't understand the immigrants. I don't. They're a weird breed. But anyway, you know, I don't want to become complacent, I guess. I don't want to, I guess that's my whole thing with this whole video, is I don't want to become complacent in my life. I don't want to become complacent in this job. I don't want to feel like where I'm just a factory worker putting a screw in a board over and over. I think there's more to life than that. You know, there's more to life than just simplicity and then you die. You know, I just think there's more to it than that. And, you know, I'll regain some focus here. I'll catch something that catches the channel up. I parked by some Bradford pear trees yesterday. When I found out that I had this hole in the floor of my trailer, I parked by these Bradford pear trees, and I sent my wife a picture of them. And I said, I think, you know, we've discussed this before, and I said, I think I'm highly allergic to those things. I was up all night last night. I just woke up from a nap, actually. Whew. Man, my allergies are kicking my butt. And I think it all has to do with those Bradford pear trees. But, you know, I guess if you're like that and you're stuck doing your channel and you can't really go anywhere and you can't move forward and you just feel like you're stuck or you're sinking and you're not getting ahead, change. You know, change the way that you do your channel. Change the way that you are. Or, you know, I changed and I guess it went to the worse because people wanted to see trucking and politics. Well, I'm not going to get on here and bash Trump every day of the week. The man has got a lot on his shoulders to take care of. And, you know, Biden left him a mess to take care of. I mean, this was all Obama and Biden's fault. I mean, this is not Trump's fault. He's just trying to go through the maze of getting us out of it. And that's the way I feel of it. You may feel different, but that's the way I feel. And I'm not going to bash Trump. I mean, I wish he would do more for trucking specifically, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. As far as the channel goes, if you're stuck and you're falling and you don't know what to do, you know, change, do something different. Here's one thing that I have thought about doing, and I came up with an idea. I bought some cameras, and I wanted to go through them with you, you know, the latter half of this video. For people that want to watch this, I want to start out with this one. And these cameras that I bought was, you know, for what you call B-roll footage, for, you know, driving around a parking lot or getting out of the truck and just grabbing a camera real quick and shooting some footage. Sometimes, you know, the way I've got my GoPro set up, it is on a mount on my dash. So, you know, I can't just grab it and take off and go with it. I'll see if I can show it to you. See, it's right there. And I've got it mounted. So, you know, I can't just grab it and take off and go with it. So I thought about buying these little cameras, and I did. And I started researching and trying to think of something that would work. The first one that I bought, it was actually broke when I got it in. I've got another one here just like it, but the first one I bought was broke. Didn't work at all, and it was a junk camera, and I think the guy knew it that sold it, but I'll get into that discussion here in a minute. The second camera I bought was this. I mean, it came in this little case. You see that? And I bought it from a lady off of YouTube, and off of eBay, and she sold like little trinkets, I guess you could call it, ceramic figures and old plates that had like president pictures on them, and trinkets is what I would call it, souvenirs. That was what her eBay channel was about. And this camera was on there in the case, and it stuck out like a sore thumb because it was nothing like anything else that she had. And I had been doing some research on it, and I was like, that's cool. That's a cool little camera. So I thought, and I'll show it to you. It is this little camera right here. It is called a Samsung. I knew that I would get it wrong. It is a Samsung W280, if I remember right. Let me power it on for you. It's great, wonderful little camera. See? Isn't that cool? It's a wonderful little camera, and it is waterproof and shockproof. And it's got all of these different little settings and stuff that you can do on it. This is an old camera. This camera is old. It is like from early 2000s. And you know what it looks like? It looks a lot like a cell phone, doesn't it? And that's where they got the idea from. Is a proprietary camera that looks like a cell phone. And it was a great idea, and it was also a competitor to GoPro because it is shockproof and it's waterproof. It's just in a cell phone style. And it's got this little thing on the bottom that flips out, and it's got a little charger in there where you charge it. You don't need a charge cable. You just plug it straight into the jack and charge it. Uses a micro SD card right there. A little micro SD card. And it's got a HDMI output so you can view your videos straight onto your laptop, Nifty little thing. And this camera, when it came out, was like $200. I mean, this thing was like on up there. It's like $200. I found it on that lady's eBay account with this case, and she told me, she was a nice older lady, and she said, don't expect much when you get it because it's just an old camera, and the case has got some scuff marks on it. I have went over this case with a fine-tooth comb, and it has no scuffs on it whatsoever. It looks like she bought the camera and bought the case. The case and the camera didn't come together. It was a separate buy. And it has this little pocket in it that you can put accessories. I got both of them for $11. $11 for both of those. And it works just fine. And I have not done a video with it yet. Published a video. I have done a video with it, but I haven't published one. So anyway, I liked that camera. So I bought. My wife actually made this. Isn't that neat? She made that little bag. So I liked it so much, I bought this one. This is that same camera just the next year upgrade. See, it says shockproof, waterproof, and this actually has the name on it. It is a Samsung HMX W300. I don't know if I can focus in on that. I think you can barely see it. HMX W300. Full HD. Now, these are not 4K cameras. These are 1080 cameras. And this one is just, the upgraded model to that. You turn it on. Let me see if I can turn it on for you. Looks exactly the same, right? The internals on them, I think, is exactly the same. They just restyled the front buttons. They're more of a flat with a raised surface on it. This one is a really nice design. That older one there, the record button is right here in the middle where it says OK. The record button on that one, it's like sunken in, and the ring on the outside of it is way higher than this one is. So you have to have like really tiny fingers to stick in there and push the record button. This one is made for big sausage fingers like I've got, and you just bam, and you're recording. This one came with the stickers, no scratches, no scuffs. It's got the same charge cable on the bottom where you just plug it in and charge it. It uses the same SDMI, HDMI, and SD card slot on it. They're both the same. It's basically the same exact camera. There's really no difference in them whatsoever. Just they upgraded the outside of it. And this one is super nice. Now, if you're thinking about getting a camera like that, you have to think you're stepping back in time, because these are old cameras. They're old cameras. And they take old style videos. It is some neat stuff about this, because these have these, I don't know what they call it, filters, I guess is what you call it, but it has like an old Western style filter to it. One of them is called fluorescent, I think, where it makes everything blue. They've got different effects. That's what I'm trying to get at. Effects on there to where you can switch the camera. Now, that bag I said my wife made, this is a factory bag for this camera here. And this little thing is called a Kodak Play Touch. Now, this one is a totally different camera than those two, but it's the same era, the same style. This one has something that one doesn't. It has a touch screen. Isn't that neat? A camera this old, from the early 2000s, has got a touch screen, and I don't know what I just did. Microphone gain. See, it hears me talking, but I'm not recording on it. It's just, isn't that neat? The reason I bought this camera, now this was the first camera that I bought, the one that I said that came in broken. That was this camera here. And it was silver. The back of it was silver. This one's blue or teal. The first one was silver, and when I got it in, it was broken. The reason I bought this one first is because of this. Right there. it has got a microphone input. So I was thinking I could record on this, and put an external microphone on there, and it would be all great. And it does work really well. It's just the footage on it is kind of grainy, because it's 1080 and it's not 4K. And it's also the zoom on it is really zoomed in. I mean, it's really zoomed in close. I did an actual video. I actually did 2 videos with this camera. The big snow in Chattanooga, if you'll watch that video, this camera right here. I've recorded that entire video with this camera. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you thought that I had a big fancy camera. I had this little Kodak PlayTouch, 20-something-year-old little old camera doing a video in 2025. I think it was neat. And this one also, the back comes off of it, and it has a battery that comes out. Those two over there, the battery don't come out in those. But I don't remember how many views that video got. 25,000 views or somewhere around in there. And it was shot with an old camera. And this thing is just like those. Not a scratch on it. Brand new looking. It's like they bought it and they just stuck it in a sock drawer and they never used it. No scratches on the screen. Let me see if I can get a reflection going for you. Not a single scratch on it. It even has the sticker on the front. It came in a box with all the accessories. And I think I paid $30 for this one. So like $30, $20 or $25 for the other ones, and $11 for that old model. And but this one's not shockproof. This one's not waterproof. And it came with this bag, and that's where I got the idea that my wife made this bag. And this bag is actually a washcloth. It is a washcloth that my wife made, and she said, if it gets dirty, we'll just throw it in the washing machine and wash it. And she put the little cord on here. Neat. But that will give you some range. I was just going through those those cameras with you, and GoPro, of course. I've poo-pooed on a GoPro. My door is broke off of this GoPro, so I don't know. I could get another one for it, but it's not that big of a deal. And changing cameras might help. This camera that I'm using now is a webcam, and my microphone. I've got all types, all different kinds of audio and video equipment, and I could put all this different footage in to make a more in-depth video, but that would involve a lot more editing and putting it together. So I would have to decrease the time that I put out the videos. I mean, this is a more simple thing. You just turn the laptop on, turn the camera on, turn the microphone on, boom, you're recording. And so if you find yourself in a situation where your channel is sinking, you're losing views, and like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this, I think I did, but my channel has been losing views, but we have been gaining subscribers like crazy. I just looked at it the other day, and we had like 21 new subscribers, and the view count is just taking a nosedive. So weird, so strange. And it just seems like no matter how or what I do a video about, no matter what subject matter I do a video about, I'm struggling so hard to get 100, 200, 300 views per video. And maybe it's because I'm talking about stocks so much. That sun is coming in. Maybe it's because I'm talking about stocks and investments and all so much. But see, that's another aspect of me personally, is I don't want to be stuck in a truck for the rest of my life. I don't want to be stuck in the truck, another 20 years. I want to start investing and buying stocks and building some money up. And if I decide that I want to go back into being an owner operator, that way I can just go buy a truck, or I can just pay cash to have my truck at home fixed. Or I may fix my truck at home and go trade it for another truck. But I want to do it with cash. I don't want to do credit anymore. And, that's why I've been doing the stock thing. I guess I'm just going to be in the sun. Let me see if I can turn this. Didn't really help, did it? So, I guess that's why I've been wanting to do the stock thing. And I've been making progress with it, getting some gains. But I guess I've kind of put YouTube a little bit on the back burner. And I haven't been putting as much effort into it. Not as much as I should. But if I can't do that great with it myself, at least maybe this information will help you if you are a YouTube trucker, a trucking YouTuber. So it'll help you, to make different decisions on your YouTube channel. And I recently subscribed to Gentry and Sons. I mean, it just seems like his name is getting thrown around all over the internet. And I think that's what makes him so popular, is because he doesn't just drive. It is a combination between him driving and having friends and having different things to do than just trucking, and picking up old trucks, doing different things. He's a variety type person, and I see where the attraction is to him. It's like what I'm saying. He's not just the stereotypical factory worker where you pick the board up and put the screw in it. He's got a variety of things going on. I do too, myself, but it's more of a personal thing, because I work on the truck as a truck driver. As soon as I get off Friday, run home. Soon as I run home, the wife and I have got 10,000 things to do on the weekend. And then I'm right back on the truck Sunday. And a lot of times it feels like I don't even have time off on the weekends. It's just work, 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 work. And, it's eventually got to have a break to it somewhere. It eventually does. But I've just got so much going on right now. So many thousands of things going on right now that, I think that's part of why my YouTube is slacking. I think it is. And another thing about it is I found out that, it could take years before I got a good, solid audience in YouTube to where I could make, even $1,000 a month, off of YouTube, or $500 a month. It might take years before I get to that point, if I even get to that point. And I guess that was a little hit a little too hard at home for me, because I was thinking, man, I'm really pouring it on, really throwing these videos out here and doing the best that I could possibly do and getting all this equipment going and all. And it's still going to take me years just to make $500 or $1,000 off of YouTube. And I kind of just threw my hands up and said, I don't really care. It's not really worth it to put that much time and that much effort into YouTube just to make. And I'm not trying to say that that's no money, but you can't live off of that. You can't live off of $500 or $1,000 a month. Maybe you can in certain instances, but I don't think I could. So we're just kind of cruising along, and we're just putting out content. And I appreciate everyone that takes time out of their day to click on my channel and watch what content is that I put out here. And I'm going to try, we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to try to put out more consistent content, if not for me, for viewers, put out more consistent content to make it a little more entertaining. But right now, man, I am just, as they say, I'm knee deep in stocks. I am. I mean, we had a great day today with stocks. Big, huge. I mean, it took off today. It took off this morning, and I was like way up there in profits. I mean, way up there. And I was super stoked about it, even though I was up all night with the allergies and everything. I was super stoked about making so much money off of stocks. And then about noon, it started coming down, and then it just kept falling and falling. And I tried to buy a stock today, and I couldn't buy it. The buy wouldn't go through. So, maybe I can try again tomorrow. But, that's been a big focus for me is stocks, investments, and making money. And, YouTube is more for fun. It's more for just something to do and fun, just to have a video out there, for you guys to watch and all. It's not really for the money thing. I mean, the last video I put out, I just looked at it before I started this. It's too new, as they say, it's too new to put out any kind of revenue on it. And the last video before that, it was still the same. YouTube hadn't updated. But the third video back, I think I had like 45 views on that video, and it showed that I had made like 8 cents on that video. So, woo, we're knocking it out, aren't we? 8 cents. But it's not really about the money. I mean, would I like to make $8,000 a month making videos? Yeah. Do I put the time and the effort in to making $8,000 worth of videos? No, I don't. Probably should. But, man, I just got so much stuff going on. So I guess in the end, to close this video out, is getting a little bit longer. If you find you're in that situation, you're a YouTube trucker, a trucking YouTuber, and you get in that stuck spot, or you don't know where to go or don't know what to do, start looking at your videos, the ones that's made good views, and start doing more on that. Find out what it is that increased your view on a certain video. Like for me, doing that video on Mont Eagle, and doing the video on Chattanooga, the snow in Chattanooga, those were 2 of my recent best videos. And when I get to looking at that and what I think about the having in common was, one, it was Tennessee, and two, it was about truck wrecks in the Chattanooga Monteagle area. And you know, maybe I ought to start doing all of my videos in Chattanooga and the Monteagle area, because I go through there usually at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Maybe I ought to name this the Monteagle Chattanooga channel. I don't know. But anyway, hopefully some of this will sink in, and some of it will help somebody. If it seems like I don't know, then you're probably right. I don't know. I don't know what makes YouTube YouTube. I don't. It's like trying to figure out a woman. The closer you get, the farther away you get from understanding. So something will catch one of these days, maybe, for me, and hopefully it does for you too. And hopefully you can get out of doing YouTube what you like. And if you've got any type of direction or input on what you think about this channel, good or bad, I don't care. I mean, put the bad stuff in there too, and tell me in the comments what you think. Be a little more descriptive, though. Don't just come on and say, hey, your videos suck. I mean, tell me how and tell me why so I can improve it. Be a little bit more descriptive than they suck. I mean, give me something to go on. But anyway, you guys take care, and thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.